Today on the podcast, we are talking about a very famous musician, artist who's doing some very amazing things, uh, of all places, in Jersey. That's right, in Jersey. Frame Money podcast starts right about now. Get your mind right. Get your mind right.
It's a frame of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Frame Money podcast. This is your boy Simbawi Nibayo Jr., aka TK, along with my man Omar Williams. We call him O, and Denise Obi. We call her D Nice. Y'all say what's up to the peeps.
What's up, good people?
Hello, hello, hello.
It is another lovely Wednesday morning, and y'all know how we do. We get things started and popping early, but before we do, it is also Affirmation Wednesday. And so if you got your affirmations written down, or if you got them on hand, or you got them memorized, let's get those in and out the way to get the day started and get things going. Are you ready? Here we go. Today will be a good day. Today will be a great day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be a phenomenal day. Today will be stress-free. Today will be a stress-less day. Today, I will overcome all barriers that want to block my progress. Today, all circumstances, issues, and situations will work in my favor. Today, all things will work and line up for my good. Today, I'll become better than who I was yesterday. I am a go-getter. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I am an overcomer. I never lose. I either win or I learn. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. I will conquer this day, and everything I have spoken into this day will happen as I have affirmed, because I am more than a conqueror. Let's get started. So today, we are talking about a very famous and well-known musician for a generation or two, possibly three. And that person is Mr. John Bon Jovi. Now, before we get started, what we're talking about today, we are not being sponsored, and we have not been asked to do this by Mr. John Bon Jovi. This is something that I stumbled upon on Instagram and decided it would be a great topic to talk about. So, again, we are not being sponsored or asked in any way by John Bon Jovi to do this. So, just so you guys know. All right. Now, I will say this. I am very excited about this because this is happening in the good old state of Jersey. Now, of course, most of you know it as New Jersey. But as you know, and I've heard before on this show, if you are from New Jersey, you say, I'm from Jersey. And of course, I am from Jersey. And so Mr. John Bon Jovi, that I discovered, has a restaurant called JBJ Soul Kitchen Community Restaurant. And I stumbled upon this on Instagram and thought it'd be nice to talk about because this is a different kind of restaurant I have not heard of or seen. So just to give you an overview of what this restaurant is and what they do, this is a restaurant that allows customers to pay one of two ways. One way is that you actually pay for your actual meal, and it's like a pay what you can kind of thing. The second way is you can pay for your meal. Check this out. You can pay for your meal by choosing to volunteer your time to work in the restaurant. Now tell me that ain't crazy.
That is
It's
crazy.
cool
Yeah.
though. It's cool.
It's a cool concept, right?
Yeah.
Cool concept. Yep.
And listen, there's not just one of these. there are 4 of these restaurants in Jersey alone. Allow me to run them down to you really quick, and then I'll give you guys some stats. I'll let Owen and Denise jump in here. So there are locations in Red Bank, New Jersey, Toms River, New Jersey, Rutgers University, Newark. Now, I have to admit, I'm a little jealous because that's where I went to school at, and that wasn't there when I was there. So, but I'm happy for them to get their JBJ and Rutgers University there in Newark. And then the last one's in Jersey City, which is at NJC University in Jersey City. So 4 restaurants in Jersey. Again, JBJ Soul Kitchen. 2,000 meals served. 57% of those meals were meals that were done by people volunteering their time to work there. 43% were paid with donations. They've got kitchen stories, and they also have a place on the site where if you go to their website, it's just literally jbjsoulkitchen.org. They actually show you videos of how they make their food. That's even crazy too. So, with all that said, there's more we could talk about, but in order for you to find out like more detailed stuff, go to the website, check it out. If you're in Jersey and you live in one of these areas, go to the restaurant, check it out. I've heard a few good things about it that I've heard of so far. I literally just found out about this like last week, right? And figured that, we talk about it. So,
Right.
Denise, what are your thoughts initially on JBJ Soul Kitchen? It's doing a very positive and great thing in the communities of Jersey, and then the concept by which they're going about doing this, and on top of that, are thriving at that. What are you guys' thoughts?
You go first. Oh, so I kick it
Okay.
off.
Well, I'll say it's almost like an example of like this is the original way. I feel
Yeah.
like this is before money was a thing.
Mhm.
It was like tribes were around, and people were like, look, you help me do this and I'll help you do that, and you go hunt for that and I'll go do this, and we'll come together at the
Right.
end of the day and create this one big community, dinner. I
Mhm.
think this is taking concepts from that, and it also proves that like you don't need like I don't want to come at capitalism's neck. I don't even want to do that because I believe in it, but I just think there is an ethical way to do capitalism.
Mhm.
But you don't need like you don't have to capitalize all the time
Right.
in order to get things done,
Mhm.
right? Like you have 4 restaurants running off the work of volunteers,
Mhm.
donations. Because I read that if you pay $20, that's a donation that pays for your meal and somebody else's,
Right.
right? So if you don't work your food, so if you don't work, you can donate and get a meal and pay it forward.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, and it's 4 restaurants thriving. So what that means is it's a self-sustaining system, and
Right.
I think that's awesome. Like the fact that people are running this restaurant all together. It doesn't sound like. I also read that there's food that's donated. So like the majority of the food cooked is also
Mhm.
donated.
Mhm.
Look at
So
that.
again, it's proven that you don't have to always be capitalizing off people's backs. You can actually add to the community as well as give, you can add to the community and it can run itself.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
proof that it's doing it. Like it's not like it's 1 and struggling, it's 4 and thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
Cool. Denise?
Yeah, I agree, and I think more celebs should. I'm not necessarily saying every celeb should open their own restaurant, but I think more
Mhm.
celebs should get behind that and support that. And I think one thing that stood out for me is they partner with this place called Chance
Mm.
for Change, and they partner with them to provide access to like food, mental health programs, and substance support, and also stable housing. So it's like if it's paying for itself, I think that speaks for itself where you have this chance for change operation here that's working out and also giving back to the community but actually putting it to use because I think sometimes when you say, yeah, we're doing this to give back to the community. It's like, well, you're giving back to the community. What does that mean? And I think
Right.
working with Chance for Change, that's what I thought was great, because it's like stable housing in New Jersey is like, sorry, but it's one of the most expensive states. Property taxes is crazy. So I
Listen,
think
I
that's
I can't refute that. I can't refute that
yeah.
at all.
So I think that's a good thing right there, where they're coming out of pocket to help with that. And then also mental health, I think that's one of the biggest things we're seeing nowadays. And even if you have like a campus like Rutgers right there, where college students who deal with something like mental health, it's kind
Yeah.
of like you're bridging that gap with like mental health, and like it's like, oh, food, mental health, like I didn't think you could put those two and two together, and that's what they're doing now. So
Yeah.
I'm for it. I wouldn't mind stopping by at a restaurant. I think we should go on a, hey,
Oh,
company dinner,
I'm
write it
definitely
off
down for
for
that.
taxes.
I'm definitely
Hey,
down
I'm
for
just
that.
saying, donate $20 to cover someone else's meal. I'm for that.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah.
A lot of great stuff they're doing. I did get a chance to look at that Chance for Change. I thought that was pretty incredible
Hmm.
do as
Right.
well. And I just want to run down real quick because they have two menus on their site, one for Red Bank and one for Tom's River. I'm gonna
Hmm.
just run down Red Bank's menu right now, just to give you an idea of like what they're serving. And then we'll talk about a few other things too. So for appetizers, pasta fagioli, topped with Parmesan cheese. Another appetizer, strawberry crunch salad. That sounds pretty good to me. Mixed greens topped with strawberries, red onion, blueberries, and feta cheese with a poppy seed dressing. I'm hungry already. All right. Main course, peri peri chicken, soul seasoned beef burrito bowl, garlic Cajun cod. That's interesting. Sweet and spicy tofu is a kid's ravioli, and then dessert is the chef's choice or a fruit plate. So they also have gluten-free options, dairy-free options, and let the cooks know if you have a nut allergy, and they'll fix the food accordingly. Hours are, let me see, I think it's Wednesday to Sunday. They're off Monday and Tuesday, closed Monday and Tuesday. Some really cool things going on there. One thing I also want to talk about, they actually have their own shop too, where you can actually purchase things from them, such as JBJ's Soul Seasoning. Check
Mm.
that out.
Okay. Okay.
They
Okay.
got their own merchandise and they have their own coffee. So, again, without giving too much away, go to the website yourself. Again, jbjsoulkitchen.org. Um, got their own coffee, their own seasoning, and it really gives you, some detail about all of what they're doing and how they're doing it and what's being done. From what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's also a restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, see, if you got the video version of this, you see that D Nice has a Tennessee Vols shirt on. I'm not sure
I
why
had to
that
get one.
is,
I don't sure. I
but
mean, I was
Well,
wondering why too.
hey, I went to Tennessee a couple weeks ago. I was like, I need
Okay.
a shirt. I just need a shirt.
Say no
listen,
Just
more.
needed a shirt.
just a little off the cuff here. Tennessee is actually a really nice state. I've been there
Yes. Yes.
several times. It's a really nice state. I thought about moving there at one point. Wifey said no. So, oh well, that's the way it is. But it is a very nice state. I look
It
forward to going
is.
back there again. Um, but to get back on track here, their own seasoning, their own coffee, their own merchandise. Um, and I think overall, it's just a great thing to have. Number one, someone who is a quote celebrity or has significance in the world to do something like this, because I think it
Mhm.
speaks volumes as someone who truly wants to give back. Now, again, we're not just singling out John Bon Jovi, but we're also saying there are other people who are doing things. But this is something I stumbled upon. I thought it was great. I do want to take a trip and to one of these restaurants and go eat because it just looks like the menu that they have is just really delicious, to be in my own opinion. And from what I also understand, they are serving a lot of um, healthy dishes along with healthy seasonings, things of that nature. Even their coffee is like it's like this Arabic coffee kind of vibe going on. So again, I'm not sure all that is, but feel free to check it out on your own. Do your own research or whatever, and give them a holler. One more thing I want to say too is that um, you could literally play a John Bon Jovi song, and it might be one that I recognize. So again, you can tell that I'm not a John Bon Jovi music fan, but again, I think what he's doing is amazing. Any other things you guys want to mention that you guys might have found interesting about what he's doing, about the restaurant, um, what's going on? I think again, the 200,000 people that are served, 57% of those were volunteer meals. I think that's incredible
Man.
as well.
Mm.
That's incredible. Any other positives or great things we want to say about JBJ Soul Kitchen Community Restaurante?
I think I just like looking at the website. I just like how he's more focused on the restaurant. Like you're not seeing his face plastered
Mhm.
all over the restaurant. Like there's a purpose for what he's doing, and it's not just oh because of everyone knows my name. It's no, we're giving the nonprofits, the community restaurant, like volunteers, like everything like that. I just have a lot of respect for him for doing that to really push the image of helping others and not his name, basically.
Okay,
Hmm.
cool. Anything else you got? Oh,
Yeah. For anybody's listening, I think this is. I mean, this is bigger than it sounds. Like, I think this could be done. Like, okay, this is what I'm trying to say. For anybody's listening, look up what a co-op is. If you look up what a co-op is, and imagine every business, every company, every place that's making these billions and trillions of dollars, imagine if they did that and what a difference it could make in the world. He's doing this it's like a co-op pretty much what he's doing
mm,
on a smaller scale. But imagine Apple did a co-op,
yeah,
Nvidia,
yeah,
Google did a co-op,
mm,
Disney.
Disney do a co-op,
yeah,
and it just and rather than them just take, they're taking and adding. So, for example, this man is selling seasonings and coffee, so
mm,
that's his he gets that as a profit, right? But the restaurant is operating in this co-op form,
mm,
So I just think if everybody went to that, man, it could change. It could change so much.
yeah.
It could change so much. So
And listen, let's
yeah.
just take a quick look at some of their partners. Some of their partners: Home Depot, Kohl's, Shoprite, Vidya. Um, and it looks like there's some local ones in Jersey, like 107.1 The Boss, 94.3 The Point. So I mean, they got partners, and then it says if you're interested in becoming a partner, contact them. So there's another opportunity there to do
Right.
something even major or even bigger. They're on social media: Facebook, Instagram, X, aka Twitter. Um, it's just a number of things you can actually look up and see what they're doing. We just thought it was a good idea to just kind of talk about it because I think if you don't know about it, now you do. And again, if you're in the Jersey area, stop by, get something to eat, donate, volunteer, do both. I don't think there's a code that says you can't do both. You know what I mean? If you don't, if you like to, um, and go by and check it out, see how things go. Listen, I told somebody before, can anything good come out of Jersey? Well, there you go. You got JBJ Soul Kitchen and yours truly. All right, so don't hate. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
While we're here, shifting gears really quick, just to give you guys an announcement because I know we told you guys before we're working on another podcast that we're working on. We have yet to reveal that to you guys, but this is probably the last podcast we're going to do before the fall gets here. What may happen is that I may jump on and do like a 15-minute podcast um, myself just to kind of give like something that's motivational, inspirational, or something like that. But this is the last one that we're going to do together until about the fall time, because we're going to be preparing for a new podcast that we're going to be doing in August that's going to be dropping. And so, for those of you who are Frame of Mind Inc. podcast listeners, giving you guys just a 411 here. So, the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast is not going anywhere. But what is going to happen, and I'll let Owen Denise kind of chime in here too, is that we're going to be going once a quarter for the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. So, if you look at it from a quarterly standpoint in a year, you have 12 months, there's 3 months in every quarter. So once every 3 months, you'll hear from the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And those podcasts will probably be longer than what they normally have been because it'll be once a month. Now, we're not doing a 2-hour podcast, and we're not doing that. But we could go for about an hour, and have something that we're going to talk about in the topic. But this new podcast that we're venturing into is going to be one that we're putting a lot of our time and energy into. We're very excited about it. We're going to actually begin sometime in the mid-summer to start kind of putting it out there, letting you guys know. So the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast community, we're not leaving you, but we are starting something that's new, that's exciting, and continue to do this podcast here to continue to bring you guys great content and great conversation with this podcast too. So without me saying and talking too much, Owen, Denise, anything I want to say to the people out there who are Frame of Mind Inc. podcast listeners, supporters, and love to hear what we talk about on a monthly basis. Floor is yours.
I would just
Changes.
say,
Okay.
oh, you got it,
Like,
Denise?
Oh, wait,
there you
hold
go.
on. See, now, how is it this time no one says you go first? And y'all
I
just
I don't know.
keep
It's just like it was just.
Normally it's like, oh, you go first. Now both of you got to
Yeah.
talk at the same time.
Cause I know we had like that dynamic. So once you talk, he talks. I was like, all right, I'll chime in after him.
Oh, man.
No, I would just say for the people listening and for the people who have been listening, the new and old. I would also say like feel free to write in, give your feedback on how you feel about the new the new format for the quarterly. See, I would like to hear what you would have to say about it. I think it's going to be a good thing, and this new thing we have coming, I think we kind of alluded to it before, but I think we're all excited about it, and I think you're going to like it also. But again, we're not abandoning the fans, or if I should call you fans, I don't know. What should I call them?
The
Frame
listeners,
of minders.
the listeners. Oh, that too.
Frame of
Frame of
minders.
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 The-
For all you minders,
All the
framing
minders.
framing your mind right.
Yes.
We're not going anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Just excited to next chapter. Still here, still happy. Got a lot of heat coming. Good heat. I won't say the bad heat, but the good heat. So stay tuned and DM us for topics, things you want us to talk about, and we'll read them.
Along with that too, just so if you are new to the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast, or you came in, say, a year or 2 or 3 ago, just so you know, to give you guys some background, like this is actually, I believe, our 6th season of the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. We've been doing the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast since, I believe, April
Of COVID.
of 2020.
Yep.
So this is not like something that all of a sudden came out of nowhere. It's like it did, but we've been on since 2020, and there have been changes along the way. Me and O have been here since the beginning. We started out with someone else, and with 3 of us, and then about, I think it was maybe 6 months in, that individual left, and then me and O were just kind of doing it, and then I believe, I'm not mistaken, maybe a year later, possibly, or 2.
2 years.
2 years later,
Right, yeah.
we bought Denise on, and so we've been doing this for a good minute. So it's just like, it's one of those things where everything has its season, right? And right now, the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast is going into a different new season where it's not going to be as frequent, but again, still great content. And then we're also embarking on a new season with a new podcast as well. So feel free to join us once you know what that podcast is and where we're going to be at, to join us over there as well, and continue to be a part of the Frame of Mind Inc. community over here and what we're doing over here as well with the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. So love you guys. Thank you for hanging in there with us. For those of you who have been with us since 2020, thank you for supporting us for that time, and continue to support us, because again, we're not going anywhere. We're just taking another venture, another road, and we're going to keep things moving forward as all businesses and business models do. You add on, you take away, you keep things kind of moving. So that's kind of what we want to talk about. Let you guys know, so you guys know, just so a heads up, you probably may not hear another podcast with us three for Frame of Mind Inc. podcast until sometime possibly in the fall. Again, I may jump on and just do something 15 minutes, motivational, inspirational, just to, keep the community together. But we'll see how that goes. But be on the lookout sometime in late June, early July about what's coming for us three, what we're about to do. I think we're going to shake some things up in a positive way. And then I think we're also going to venture into some areas where some things that I talked about, of course, are real. They are important. Some things may be a little, what's the word? Can't think of the word right now. But they may be somewhat misconstrued or just a little stretching of things. But we're going to talk about it from a real, foundational standpoint, and then elaborate on some things, and then hit y'all with the real. Because, as we all know, real is real, right? And fake is fake. At the same time, I think that what we're embarking on, people are going to enjoy, because it's going to come from an area where we're talking not necessarily for the people, but we're talking to the people about things that people who are not in this realm of, celebrity or a high standard or in this particular arena, the eyes speak for themselves, right? And so all of the mumbo jumbo that happens, that's great. When it gets down to it, the eyes see what they see, and the eye test says XYZ as opposed to ABC. And listen, we may not be 100% right, but in everything that's talked about, whether it's a rumor or the truth, there is some truth in that rumor, in that information. And then there's sometimes, and this may sound a little crazy, there's truth within the truth. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, that's all we got for today. Have a great day. Continue to think it, speak it, and achieve it. And until next time, wait, before we go, if you want to continue to contact us, you can always hit us up on our email, fofmpodcast at frameofmindinc.com. Again, FOFM podcast at frameofmindinc.com. Give us a call, 302-689-3499, or hit us up on any of our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and again, give us a message, DM us, and we'll definitely respond to you. And be on the lookout for what's happening new. Late June, early July. It's coming. Myself, and Denise, as usual, we holla. Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's the frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.